Some of the more memorable moments in my career, and I'll break them up by practitioner experiences and, of course, those that I've had in education. Um, as a practitioner, I think one of the most memorable weeks of my life was a week when I worked 80 hours, which during tax time is a bit out of the range. And I can remember that time in my life. It seemed like it had been a month, and it was only a week. But it was a wonderful learning experience. We talked about compressed experiences in the public accounting area. That's why you go to work for large firms, or why you have a public accounting experience, because you want a lot of experience and knowledge all gained in a short amount of time. It helps accelerate your career, helps accelerate your experiences. And for me personally, I always talk about failure. Failure is not a bad thing. Failure just tells you what your limits are. And I didn't fail that week. I actually was still standing and walking and talking at the end of the week. So I felt like I had gone through something that was a one-time experience, however, because once I did it, although I felt successful, I did not want to have it again. Another practitioner experience or moment that was highly memorable to me, and I still think about it to this day, is getting a client a approximately $30,000 interest and penalty abatement from the IRS. And it was at a time back in the 80s when you could still go down to the federal building, and the IRS had a window, and you could sign on a clipboard, and you'd walk in and talk to those folks. And I'll never forget going down there and talking to this agent who was very understanding of the circumstances, then going back and delivering that news to the client who to my surprise, with hindsight bias, says, "Oh yeah, I knew you guys were going to take care of that." So he didn't realize or doesn't understand or appreciate just how difficult that was, but it was an accomplishment that when I talked to other peers about it, they're somewhat surprised, because it's not always something that you just walk down and take care of in an afternoon. In terms of my academic experience, I would say the most surprising or the memorable moment to me was actually when I was asked to become the interim dean. And the reason that was a surprise is because, well, first of all, I was asked twice. I turned it down 2 times because I didn't really feel like I was ready. And so having been asked to serve in this role, which is a role of great honor, but also one of responsibility, I just remember it vividly because I just didn't feel like I was ready at the time. Didn't understand why I was being asked to do it. And I remember being asked to do the interim deanship role more than I remember actually getting the job now. So I couldn't honestly tell you who told me I got the job when I got it 3 years ago on a permanent basis. But I do remember vividly getting the interim job because it was such a surprise and something that I was fortunate to have a boss who saw more in me than I saw in myself. And then I think the next thing would probably be, again, pursuing the national recognition for our school, obtaining that. I remember that day very vividly. It was something that is vivid for me, not only because, again, it was a great accomplishment for me, but it was a shared one with the faculty. We all worked really hard, and it kind of flashed me back to a time in my practitioner experiences where people worked together as teams, and after a period of time, they could celebrate benchmarks, whether it be April 15th is over, whether it be a successful position defended for a client. This was something that I had not many experiences in the academic world of, but that particular experience resonated much like the ones I had in public practice.